Suffering has a way of closing in on us. When we're in the middle of loss, illness, or disappointment, it can feel like the darkness is pressing in from all sides. Sometimes we're left asking, where is God in this? I love how Jesus answers that question in John 11:25 through 26. He's talking to Martha, who just lost her brother, and he tells her, I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this? Now, I want you to imagine that moment. Martha is grieving. She's devastated, maybe even a little frustrated with Jesus because he could have come sooner. But instead of just offering her comforting words, Jesus offers himself. He says, I am the resurrection and the life. In other words, Martha, I'm not just here to fix this moment. I'm here to change everything forever. The truth is easy to believe when life is good. But what about when suffering lingers? What about when answers don't come? Eli Wiesel, a Holocaust survivor, knew what it meant to wrestle with those questions. He endured horrors that most of us can't even begin to comprehend. He wrote about them in Night, his memoir about life in the concentration camps. And yet, despite everything he had seen and suffered, he said in an interview years later, I have not lost faith in God. I have had moments of anger and protest, and sometimes I've been closer to him for that reason. That hits me because so often we think doubt and faith are opposites. That if we have questions, it means we don't have trust. But Weisel's words remind us of something powerful. Sometimes it's in our wrestling, in our raw and honest conversations with God, that we actually draw closer to Him. It makes me think of the story of Lazarus. Jesus could have healed him before he died. He could have saved Mary and Martha from grief altogether, but he didn't. He wept with them first. He stood in their sorrow before revealing his greater plan, before showing them that death doesn't win. And the same is true for us. Whatever pain you're facing, God is standing in it with you. He's not distant. He's not waiting for you to get it together. He's there, even when you don't feel it. So here's the challenge for this week. Think about a time when God brought light into a difficult situation in your life. Maybe it wasn't instant, maybe it wasn't dramatic, but looking back, you can see his hand in it. Write it down, draw it out, or just sit with it for a moment. And then share it. Tell a friend, text a family member, encourage someone who might be going through their own season of darkness. Because sometimes when we can't see God's goodness in our own pain, we need to see someone else's to remind us that it's still there. This isn't just for adults either. If you have kids, help them recognize God's love even in their small disappointments. Maybe a time they felt left out, but later found a new friend. Or when they're nervous, but found courage. Because these lessons start early. Suffering doesn't get the last word. It never has, and it never will. Jesus is the resurrection and the life. And that means light will break through because he already won. So this week, take a step. Remember, reflect, and remind someone else that even in the darkest moments, hope is still alive.